what's up, folks? Today is July the 8th, 2025. I am going to do a quick little video. I'm not going to narrate as much. I'm going to hop on here and hop off if I can get it done. We'll see how long it takes. Right now it is 12:50. All right, so I'm working on a script. Anybody who's been following the channel knows that I've got a master script I've been working on for some time now. Let's see, that is here. And I'm curious though, it hasn't seemed to give me any other indications right now. But so these green dots are supposed to be going long. These red dots, these red crosses are supposed to be going short. It's based on, some 2,000 lines of code. But like I said, it's not just that. The code also includes information for the user interface, which I can't seem to find right now. Where's the interface? Oh, it took another order? When did it take an order? That was some time ago. Okay, that was some time ago. All right, so where is my user interface? So many things open. You know what? I must have closed it out. It's unfortunate because I need that. Let me restart it. But you see right now, there's longs here, there's shorts here. There's nothing like after this time. I'm not really sure why there's nothing there. So we're gonna turn it off, turn it back on, and we're gonna see what we get. I imagine that there are at least a few more indications that popped up in that interval. But why the chart didn't? No, the chart didn't bring it up. So it's not showing anything else to come up during that time, which, like I said, is very interesting. Where's my interface at? Now that is peculiar. Not only disappeared when I started this live, so I wonder if there's something that's making it be suppressed. That's going to be something that I definitely need to know, though. Nope, it's not any one of those. So yeah, I don't know what happened to it. All right, well, I have to check it out when I get done with this live. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, all right, so again, my script's supposed to be giving me some bomb ideas of shorts and longs, right? But when I look at another set of programs I have on my chart, it just kind of reminds me of things I've done along the way and maybe why I've done made some of these indicators in these programs. So I may need to overlay what I'm currently doing with what I've already done. Okay. Sorry, I've got a lot going on at one time. Okay. So order blocks. So I've already got an indicator that makes order blocks, but I figured, hey, why don't I just make another indicator real quick? Because as my programming grows, as I learn more things, I don't always program the same way I did when I first started. So I may end up making a program that works better, may end up making it, work not as great. But let's see, the object of today is going to be to find a new order block script. And we will do it show me. Yeah, we'll do a show me. All right, so now it's 12:56. All right, so order block 0708 25. We'll get rid of all that. Let's come over here. I shouldn't need the outline for this. I think I will make objects. I haven't drawn anything in a while either, so I've really been focused on that one script. left everything to the wayside. Drawing objects. Okay, so I know that I need to pull in a time and sales provider. Okay, and then when it's updated, we'll do that. The parameters, we will load it. We'll call it task symbol. Will be whatever symbol we're on. Trades, we're gonna load trades. We're not gonna load bids or asks. We're just gonna load the trades. Okay. All right. So again, what we're looking for is essentially when we have these bids and asks that come in the time and sales provider. You see all these asks that come in at one time, all these bids that come in at one time. All these, I'll call them order blocks, right? But when you have certain blocks of orders which are higher, so you got a bunch of 3s, or say you have a bunch of 10s, or you have a bunch of numbers that come in one right after another, then I would say that that's more significant than just having a bunch of 1s come through at one time. So we're going to be looking for like this, a bunch of 5s come in at one time. Let's say at least 3 orders back to back that are greater than 3. So let's see if we can look back here. There's a lot of orders here. Again, everything is a little bit slow because I'm streaming at the same time. So let's just go with that basic premise that we're looking for orders of size larger than 3. Okay. Let's see. All right, so we're going to have a variable. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. Count of string of orders. It's going to be a 0. This is a integer because we're just counting the number times. Okay, and then so we're going to say if, well, we need to make sure that this is a, well, it should be of a type trade because we're not pulling in bids or asks, but because we're using the market data here, it's just easier for us to use the namespace of market data. And then so we can come down here, we can say if task dot or args dot reason. So this is the reason for the updated event. Args dot reason equals time and sales update reason dot added. We had something added. Then begin. Oh, and it's a tick type trade. And args dot tick type that data dot tick type equals tick type time of sales tick type dot trade. All right, then begin. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if args.data.size is greater than or equal to, we'll have an input that is I threshold, and we'll say that it would be size 3. Is if the size is greater than or equal to I threshold, then count string orders plus equals 1. Okay, now we need this to actually populate one after another. So that's going to be, I don't say that's going to be the problem, but that's going to be what we're up against right now, is that we need we need them to happen in a series in succession. So we don't want to have an order of size 3 here, and then the next one is size 1, and the next one is size 1. So they all need to be of 3 in a block, and then we will be counting strings. So, and this will be interbar persist. This counting here will be interbar persist. And if we don't make an interbar persist, then it will just essentially start back over to 0 each time. Interbar persist. Okay, so we're going to be counting the string, and if it's less than our threshold, then we need to reset it to 0. So we'll just be starting the block all over. So if it's greater than our threshold, then we're going to count. We're going to add to it else count string orders. Oh, come on, computer. Lag. There's lag in my computer from the streaming, so it's like that's gonna be equal to 0. So we're gonna start it back over. Okay, so if we're greater than the threshold, then we're gonna add to the order size else count. Okay, so if at this point, if count string orders is greater than or equal to, we're going to say 5. So we're going to have a input I order block size. We'll make it 5. Come on. All right. If count string order is greater than or equal to the I order block size. All right. Then this is show me. So we'll plot 1, or we'll plot 50 at the low of the bar. All right. So we're just going to test this out first, and then make any modifications that we need to make. So first, let's verify, see what kind of errors we have. Of course, that. Okay, otherwise no errors. Okay, good deal. All right, let's pull up our other. Is this the one? What workspace were we working with? Okay, let's get that out of here. Let's use this desktop. Boom. Okay. All right, so we're going to make a new. Okay, so we're going to make a new workspace here. Gotta love your shortcuts. Okay. All right, so let us add order block 70825. Show me. There it is. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is for the main program that I have, I'm going to end up using a global dictionary. So when I do have these order blocks that show up, it's going to send an item over through the global dictionary to my other script, and then it'll just say, all right, well, this is a better potential entry. Let's see. Okay. And technically, we don't have anything on the screen itself, on the chart itself, pulling up every bar. We just have this event handler, so we don't really have anything plotting every bar. Let's make sure we have that. Okay, order block 070825. All right, so let's change some of these parameters so that we can verify that we at least do have something showing up. Okay, so for right now, to have 5 orders in succession of size 3 contracts or greater, it might not happen very often, but technically we're about to be under this last swing low here, so we might get a flurry of orders to come in. I'd be surprised if we didn't. So let's see if we get an order block to pop up there, and then it'll put a plot at the low. So let's give it a little bit of time. And while that's going, I'll just kind of mentally go back over the logic here. Tick-tock trade, yes. If the size is greater than the I threshold, greater than or equal to, then we're going to count string orders plus equal to 1. Else, count string is going to start over at 0. And then if count string orders is greater than or equal to I order block size, which is here, then plot 50 low. Yeah, that's it. While that's going, we can pull up just one of the time and sales grids here, and we see a bunch of ones coming through, twos coming through, ones coming through. There's a couple threes, three threes, four. We have 4 threes. There's a few threes there in succession, but this is a filtered list. So the ones that come in between this 5 and this 3, the smaller ones, they won't show up, right? And that's why it is indeed an order block. It's a block of these orders. It's not just sporadically, or if these order sizes show up intermittently. It's if they show up as a block. Okay, so you see we got a few threes there. Well, I tell you, an order block with size of 3 or greater, 5 of those in a row, that is somewhat significant. So we might not see it pop up that often. So we might be waiting a while for that. So I don't really want to wait to see it. I don't want to wait to see it take its time, but I will look over at my other script. Is this the same one? This chaining, long chaining. Okay. Let's pull up. This one. Yeah. This one here. Again, this is a screen that I keep a lot of my order blocks and that kind of thing on. And again, this is the significance of the order blocks, because so this is the indicator that I set up, some time ago. But you see where we have order blocks, price change. Came down here, this order block in here, price didn't change, but you see it happened in that area for a reason, right? It's not like it just happened randomly. And then these down in here, it did make a shift. These order blocks in here, we moved up. This order block here, it moved down. This order block here, I'm not sure why it's just randomly in the middle of this area. Maybe because it came back down to retest this wick here. That volatility in there. All right, then when we got up here, we got order blocks, it pushed down. We got here, it tried to push up. But it's failing now. So, yeah, I mean, there's obviously something to the order blocks. And I don't mean order blocks in the sense of probably what everybody else calls order blocks. I mean order blocks in the sense of how I just defined it. I know there's a lot of different definitions for order blocks. There's the overlap of the candles and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. All right, well. All right, so it's trying to push up. Let's see. what happened right in that area when it started to push up. If we kind of scroll through, where did it push up from? It pushed up from this 271.35. So we're going to be back down here. That was at trying to push up around what time is this? 13:11. All right, so around 13:11. See, look at this. You see those that happen right in succession there, but those are threes. 1, 2, 3. Let's just move this to something that's easier to hit. All right, so we're just gonna move it to 2 threes in a row, just so we can get something. Boom. Okay. All right, now there is something to be said about that. You see here, this dot showed up a bar before. Now, in some of the programming I've learned here recently, all right, so you see those dots showing up now. That's saying that we have at least a size 3, 2 orders in a row, right? But you see it showing up on the bar before. With this, I think that has something to do with the fact that I'm not, I forget what it is. Something to do with the fact that, again, I'm not running something on every single bar. So I'm not plotting anything on every single bar. So I think if I did something like value 1, value 99 equals 1, and it would just call something on every bar, I think that would put the plot on our current bar. It still didn't, right? So you see this happened, but it still put it on the bar before. Oh, you know what? What if I do no plot 1? Could I do that? Nope. Still put it bar before. Now that's very important because, like I said, I've made a lot of indicators. I make a lot of indicators. And with all these indicators that I make, depending on if you're using information on a calculated bar, or you're calculating within the bar, or you're only using method event handlers, if you have this on the wrong bar, and then you go and you stream read or you stream write your information onto, you know, one of your text files, now all of a sudden when you print it onto your text file, it may print on the wrong bar. And then when you stream read it back to your chart, when you bring it back to your chart, now if it's on the wrong bar, now it looked like this swing pivot happened right here, when really it should have been happening right here. So this is important that we get this right. And let me sort through this, because I know I figured it out once before. But now one of the things that you can do is you can say, what did I do? I think I plotted it in the future, something like that. I put a -1 there, and then it'll put it right on that bar that you're on. But I don't like that. So let me see if I can remember how to get that on the same bar. Capturing orders greater than order block size, then There's oh, you know what? I think I figured it out. And I remember thinking about it then, but I've done a bit of programming even since I discovered this about 3 weeks ago, and now it makes even more sense. Okay. All right, so right now, you got to remember, all right, you see now it works. I plotted this on a -1 bar. All right, but so what's happening is this code is run at the end of the bar. It's not run throughout the middle of the bar. It's not run here at the beginning of the bar. This code, unless it's inch-bar calculation, it's run at the end of the code. Okay, so that being said, we don't have a plot 50 yet for this bar. The only plot 50 we have, while we're within this method event handler, the only plot 50, and at least this makes sense to me, so I hope it makes sense to you. The only plot 50 that we have at this point is the bar before, right? So if this is the bar of, if this is our bar of question, and we're on this bar, where, you know, the time and sales provider is working, it's working. It found an order block, but we don't have a plot 50 here yet, so we can't update our plot 50 because we technically haven't run the code. We haven't run the whole program on this bar. We're only doing this event handler. So the only plot 50 we have at this point is back here, right? This one has a plot 50 because this bar has already been completed. So that's right. So the only thing I needed to do was I didn't need to do a negative here. It depends on what you want to do for your program. I like the idea of not running the script inch-bar, running inch-bar calculation if I don't have to. If you're not running any code, if it's all blank, right, then I guess it's not that big a deal. Maybe it doesn't matter. But all you have to do is you have to go here. You have to go to Edit Studies, go to your order block, and then go to General, go to Update Value Inch-bar. Okay. Then it'll put your plot. It'll give you a plot for your current bar. And this is plotting in front of it. Why am I feeling like it's gotta be, now it's gotta say a bar go? You know what it is? Let me see. Let me do value 1. Now it's jumping around. Now it's making me look crazy. All right. We're gonna do value 99 equals 1. This is just so that every bar is doing something. It's just reassigning the value, the variable of value 99 equal to 1. Okay. So, all right, there we go. Okay, so we got our plot on the current bar that we're working on. Perfect. All right, so the only other thing I want to do right now is, like I said, just go ahead and change these values back to instead of being 2. Let's just say, let's ask that we have at least 3, because 2 was happening too often, right? So we'll ask for at least 4 an order block of size 3 for the contracts, at least 4 in a row. And you see there, order block 3 and 4. Okay. So now when that shows up, it'll give you a plot on that screen. And so you can just run the screen, and then as you're sitting there watching it, you'll be able to see like these show up. That's exactly what I have. But I also wherever that order block showed up, whatever that price was, I also saved the price and I drew a label on the screen. So let's see if we can do that real quick. And then, like I said, hopefully some of you guys get some value out of this. In the meantime, I need to stop programming and start trying to figure out this market. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to, if that's true, if R then count string plus equals 1. On the last bar, whatever the price was on that last order of greater than 3, we're going to hold that price. So we're going to do, and it's going to be interbar persist also, because this is happening within the bar or within the method. Interbar persist, this is going to be a double and be hold price. Okay, so if we have this, else count string orders equals 0. Okay, if count string orders equals, now there's a couple ways I can go about this. So one way I go about this is, like I said, if you're just plotting on the chart, then you can just make a plot like there, it happened, right? You can plot on the chart, but then it's just going to be plotting every single, it's plotting multiple times on here, but it's plotting in that same spot. Now, and you see how that worked, right? You see how that worked? We got it here, but that's the thing. I don't know what price it happened at, but the price was obviously between the low and wherever it was right in here when it hit. So we got that order block in here, and then it pushed up, right? So I mean, it's definitely something to these order blocks. If I could put my finger on it, I would, but yeah, for the time being, we'll just keep working. All right, so like I said, there's a couple things that we can do here. If one is, we can say that if we do have an order block of size, if the string is greater than the where are we at? All right, so the order block size that we're looking for, that filter that we're looking for, if the string is greater than that, then we're going to plot this. Like I said, the problem is once I put this label on here, is it's just going to print multiple labels every time. So what I could do is I could say once the order block finishes, right? So we would look for the filter size to be greater, and then find when the condition is no longer met, and then we would make a label, and so then it would only happen one time. So if the count string is greater than or equal to order block size, then we need to what? Oh, this is going to reset it to 0. So let's put a hold value in here. Variable hold of count string. And that's going to be a integer because it's just going to be a number. So we're going to say, so we're first going to hold this string size into our whole count string. This is going to be reset every time we come back in, so it's no big deal there. Count string orders. So we're going to hold this size because this size may be adjusted. It may go up one more or it'll get reset to 0. Well, actually, one or the other is going to happen because this is an if-else statement. All right, so if this was greater than our threshold, yeah, because we're asking that we did exceed the order block size coming into this next time and sales provider item, right? So, like I said, now we're looking for that previous one. So, h count string. So if h count string is greater than or equal to order block size, and now it's equal to 0, and count string, or we could just say if args dot data size is 0, but if count string dot orders equals 0 because it was less than the threshold and now it's reset, then we're going to plot 50. All right, so man, that was a beautiful push though. Beautiful push up from that order block. All right, so just to confirm, because like I said, I've got a program I've been working on here now. It's about 2,000 lines long or so, and I've learned a lot along the way in terms of being able to use your outline and just kind of keeping things organized, right? This is really new for me, writing anything this long. But one of the things that you want to do is not write the entire program and then try to verify it. You want to kind of do little checks along the way, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go back here. We're going to go to Edit Studies, and then we're going to bring this back down to like 2 and 2. And then we're going to hit OK. And then, yeah, see that popped up? All right, good. So just because we had an order block of size 2 in a row doesn't mean that it won't happen again right away. If it does happen again right away, then, you know, I mean, or we could reset it. We could say, all right, well, we're only going to let this happen one time on one bar. Okay, so in order to do that, we have something like a variable that says hold for next bar. So each bar persists, hold for next bar. We'll make it false. And then if this is true, then we're going to plot this. We're going to plot this. We're going to hold for next bar is equal to true. And that way, we won't plot this again. So in order for us to not plot it again, we need to say hold for next bar. Before we can come back in here, hold for next bar also has to be false. Hold for next bar is equal to false. Okay, and how do we, once this is true and we do plot something, how do we get hold for next bar equal to false? Because if we verify this, then we get this here. Now on each subsequent bar, we won't get any more plots until we make hold for next bar false again. All right, so how do we get hold for next bar equal to false? Well, we can just say if we have a new bar. So if bar status of 1 equals 2, then hold for next bar is equal to false. This just says that we hit the final tick of the bar, and then we're resetting hold for next bar equal to false so that we can make new plots. All right, so we're going to re-verify that, and then that will be fine. Now the only other thing that I'll do is we'll make a quick label. So we'll say, all right, we were looking for the price to hold the price. H price, hold price. So if we did get another addition to our count string, then we don't want to just count the string. Additionally, we want to also hold that price. So we need a block. Hold price is equal to args dot data dot price. Okay, so now we have our price held. So now when we come, now we're holding that price, and when we plot it, when we make our label, we don't need this to be overwritten because it came back into here. We need to hold the whole price, which is going to be a double hold. We're going to put label price. Okay, so, and this will just allow us to hold this. Label price is equal to hold price. And so if we do come in here and we want to draw something, then we'll do, we can draw a label. Let's see. Now, if we draw this label within the method, it can, I think, yeah, it can persist. We just need to persist it. Text label, T label. Okay, so then this will be T label equals, we'll do text label dot create. Where are we going to create it at? We need the location and then the what we want it to say. So the location will be a date, time, point, DT point. I told you I haven't made these in a while. Done drawing objects in a while. DT point dot create. So we need the bar date time of whatever bar we're on, because that's where we want to put it at. And then the location, we'll put it at the low. And then what do we want it to say? We want it to say, we'll just put OB, just so it won't be so large. OB for order block. We're going to close that. Do that. Oh, and then, no. We'll put the price. We'll put order block plus the price, which is label price. And now that is a number, so we need to convert it to a string. So with 2 decimal places, num to string is the function. Boom. Okay, now we need to add this drawing objects dot add T label. We'll make this blue. I like the color blue. Equals color. Do I have drawing? I think I can do this. All right, verify that. You want to see something? You want to see a semicolon? Okay. Text label, you didn't like that? That's because I didn't spell it right. I got you. Okay, no errors. Boom, it showed up. All right, you saw it showed up and it disappeared. Why did it do that? Well, another something I've come to learn here recently is objects, when they are drawn on the final tick of the bar, will naturally persist. That's my understanding. That's what I remember when I came into it. Objects that are drawn within a method or intra-bar calculated, those will not persist unless you tell them to persist. Okay, so we got to do T label dot persist equals true. Verify. All right, now you see it showed up and it's staying, right? Now you can move that around. We don't want to move it around because if you're dragging the chart around, you're going to mess around and move this from the wrong place, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to do T label, lock it, lock that thing. As Kevin Hart would say, T label dot lock equals true. And then so one of the things we can do is we can get rid of this plot 50 low there. It's just a dot that's getting in the way. All right, re-verify it. All right, then one of the things I'd like to see is, because it's off to the left. Now you can leave it off to the left, excuse me, the anchor point is to the left. You can leave it to the left or you can center it. So, I mean, it just depends on what you like. So one of the things is we need a space in here. All right. No, you don't just type it in. You don't type in your spaces. All right. What you're going to do is you're going to, if you have OB, you can either put a space here or you can put it another way, but we'll put a colon and a space there. Then we'll come down here and we will do t-label dot horizontal style equals horizontal style dot center. Boom. All right. All right, come on, keep up, computer. All right, so I mean, now you see that you're like, all right, do I like it? Do I not like it? I don't know. I'm with you. I'm kind of like not sure if I like it or not being centered, because now we really don't know where it's starting from. So maybe we will leave it left justified with anchor to the left. And you think that left means that you're putting the label to the left side of the bar, but no, it's asking where the anchor point is. The anchor point is on the left side of the label. Okay. So that's pretty much it. You see that order block? That price was $271. Okay. So the only thing, like I said, now that you've done everything that you need to do and you went back and you've tested it quite a bit, now you can just move your values back to where you want them at. A threshold of at least 3 trades at, a threshold of at least 3 trades of size 3. And I actually want to see like 4. An order block with at least 4 orders in a row that have 3 contracts or more. Update that. I don't know if I let this run until we get a... Yeah, I'll just let it run until we get an order block that meets the criteria, and then I will shut her down. All right, meanwhile, I'm going to step away. Unless anybody has any questions. If anybody has any questions, this is the time to ask. Okay. All right, I will pull this over into the regular part of the code. So if anybody's just watching wants to just kind of copy and paste this, then you can feel free, and you will have your order block program. I'll just clean this up a little bit more. tell you what, while we're waiting for it, I think what I want to end up doing also, yeah, I'll just leave it. Just kind of looking at the formatting that I did on this other one is I put the price down below it. So in order to do that, we put the OB here. Just put new line. Okay, after new line, then we have that. All right. I mean, you could put the size on there as well. And while I'm waiting for this thing to fire off, I guess I will just do that. What the largest size was, maybe? So I'm gonna need a variable for the largest size. And that will be an integer. And this will be reset whenever we reset after we draw. But in the meantime, largest size will be updated whenever we get another whenever we're adding to our string. All right, so right in here. Largest size is going to be the largest of the list of either the largest size that we have from the prior bar or the prior time sales provider update, or the current. Current bar, the current update or event. All right, so we're going to have the max list, we're going to have the largest size, and then also we need to store this largest size, because if we come down here and we have a smaller number, now, well, we don't have to do it because we'll still have largest size stored. Largest size will still be stored. Count string orders resets, but largest size wouldn't. So we can put here, so after we do the new line and then we have our price, we're going to put a $sign for our price, and then we will have another line which will say the price, no, the size, and then we'll just put a capital S to signify what that is. Give a space there, and then largest, that's a number, it needs to be converted to a string, number to string, largest size 0 because it's an integer. Close that. I think that looks good. Max list. Oh, max list is going to be equal to largest size. We're just updating the largest size. So. Largest size, this being an integer, max list, args data.size, args data.size. I thought that was an integer as well. What does max list return? Maybe a double. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because max list returns a double. Well, the only thing that it's got in it to return will be two integers. So, definition of max list. Doesn't say explicitly, but I'm sure it's a double. I'm sure it's a double. Okay, just to see that run. Just to see that run and see what the output looks like. Like I said, we want to see 3 and 4. We're going to do 1, 1, and 3. That'll happen a lot. But, because it should only happen once per bar, it shouldn't overwhelm our chart. Again, I said it should happen a lot. Threshold 1, 3. That should literally happen every tick darn near. Did I break it? Did I break the script? Oh, Lord. And now it's running. Now it's running. Whoa, what was that? A 24? Okay. Large size equals 0. I don't think I messed anything up. DT point, bar date time, low, OB plus new line plus $sign plus new line, $sign plus label price plus new line plus the S space. Name of the string, that, close that. Let's add back that plot and see is the plot showing up, and maybe it's just our label that's not showing up. Ah ha ha, there we go. All right, so what happened? So I think what happened, well, I know that I said for the inputs, the only thing that I changed is I changed this threshold from a 1 to a 2. Now, why would it make sense that it works as a 2 and not as a 1? So I said that the threshold size has got to be greater than or equal to the threshold. Oh. Oh, okay. I said it has to be greater than or equal to the threshold. And it is. They all are. But if it's not greater than or equal to the threshold, then this becomes 0 and it loops back around, allowing us to actually come into here. That's just the way I set it up. I wanted to set it up that way. That's the way I set it up. So only when there is a order that is less than the threshold, which would mean it would be 0, which would mean that it would not be an order, right? And that can't happen. So that's why we didn't get anything. All right, but you see here, we got a lot of stuff going on. We've got a label for every single bar, and so they're starting to overlap. But you can see the values here, right? So the value on this one is that the largest of that order size in here was a 3. The largest of this order size in here was a 50. The largest of this order size in here was a 15. So yeah, so good stuff. Now we can go back and we can move it back to our original values, which was a 3 and a 4. Okay. All right, very good. All right, so again, I'm just going to kind of let this run. And I'll step away from the computer. I'll go and, I don't know, goof off or something. I've been programming all friggin' day. But I really do need to add this to my other program to give it a little bit more confluence of, you know, should I be looking for a long or looking for a short, and then use my program for more confirmation. I like it. I like it a lot. And for my Discord members, I will go ahead and add this to the Discord, to the library. So I will do an export. There may already be one in there. I don't know. Yeah. And again, for anybody who hops in on this live right now, if you have any ideas of something you want me to maybe add to this indicator before I, I just uploaded it to the Discord group, but the ELD, so you can just download it. But if there's anything that you want me to modify on this, then I can look to modify that real quick while I'm on the live. And then, like I said, I'm just waiting for this to give us an indication, and then I'm gonna hop off. All right, we got an order, but I about fell asleep sitting here. I really did. Oh. All right, so it looked like we got a couple in a row. This one had a highest order of 35. This one had a highest order of 12. The only other thing that I would do with the other indicator that I made is to determine whether or not the order block happened or pretty much lived on the ask side of the market or on the bid side of the market. So look at that. Get this reaction. Let's see what's going to happen, and then we'll shut her down. I was out. All right, was that the push up? Okay, so my indicator looks like it worked again. Did it put me into any positions though? Because I had it turned on, but then I lost my interface, so I don't know what happened. Like I said, the red dots, the red crosses are to go short, the green dots are to go long. I don't know if it put me into anything, how bad it looks. Okay, so it didn't put me into the short there. I'm not sure why not. It did put me into the long. I got that one, and it put me into this long. I got that one. Very good. It put me into a short here, lost that, short here, lost it. Not sure why those shorts though. Interesting. This must have reset after 11:43. 11:41, 11:43. Yeah, looks like we reset it. Restarted the script at 12:54, which would have been in here. Okay. All right. I mean, take the wins with the losses. Real time, realize 190.40. And again, this is a simulated account. Don't get too excited. Trust me, I'm getting excited. But I'm just trying to take it one step at a time. So that might have been a little bit of a push up. But anyways, guys, that's your order blocks. As always, I've been your host. I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace.